us with that question. We can't hear you. Okay, for anybody that did not hear that comment, it is being recorded, and it's going to be, I guess it's uploaded to, sounded like a public part of Zoom, where you can go get the meeting, and then a copy of that will also go on to our website. Is that correct, Buckeye?
It's being recorded, and a part of the Zoom license that the township has, it will go into a cloud recording on Zoom, and then you can pull it from the cloud and put it on your server and do whatever you would like to do with it from there. So,
okay.
So to answer your question, yes, the meeting is being recorded.
Okay, thank you. Other questions?
Since you're still holding to the transcription, are they transcribing the minutes like they offer?
Buckeye, are you able to answer that question with what we have from the package?
So with the subscription and the license that you have, it does not offer transcription because that's required in the enterprise package, and you would have been required to buy upwards of 10 licenses, which would have cost thousands of dollars. And so it's just from a budgetary point of view, it wasn't there to provide that.
So that package cost $2,000, and we just spent $3,500 in transcriptions for 2020. So I think it paid for itself.
Well, no, you would have had to have bought at least 10 licenses with it costing at least $200.
As I said, $2,000 for that package, and we just paid $3,500 in transcriptions, so it would have paid for itself.
Yes, but that was not up to me, so or Buckeye Business.
So I guess we're still gonna get transcriptions made. Okay.
Okay, other comments from guests? And the question is suggestions or input on making the meeting easier to follow and understand.
Hey, Mike, I have a question or a suggestion, maybe. Could we post the agendas in Tracy's report so that we could look at them or print them off so we can follow here at home before the meeting? Is that possible?
What do you guys think? I never get anything posted on the website, so you're talking to the wrong person.
Well, I was addressing the president, is who I was addressing.
Oh, you were addressing Mike.
Yeah, isn't your name Mike?
No, it's Jim.
Oh, it's Jim. I'm sorry. I'm looking at you. Never mind. Okay, Mr. President, let's go this route.
God.
Is there any way that we can have the agendas posted so that we can print them before the meeting so that we can follow along here at home as well as Tracy's report?
I think the best we're going to be able to do on that is post it the day after. But I guess to really answer your question, since this Zoom is new, we need to establish some policies on how we can address that, because obviously we got to set it up in a way similar to what you were used to, because when you walked in before, you would come pick up a finance report and an agenda at the table and then go sit down. So I don't know whether we should tie that to our registration. So if you register to attend the meeting and have the code, then we push out agendas and stuff like that. But to put it out there blanket on the website, I'm not sure we can do that. But those are all things that we need to discuss as a board, because we ultimately decide the rules of the meeting.
Okay, that's fine. I was just saying it would just be easier if, you have something printed like we normally have so that we can follow the meeting. Thank you.
Sure. Anybody else?
Yes, this is Bruce. This is not the first Zoom meeting I've been involved with. Other Zoom meetings, they run all their minutes and agenda. They run it on the screen, and the administrator of the meeting controls it. It's a start, but that's still not good enough, because I'll be reading it, then they'll scroll up to the next thing, and I get lost. But you can post your agenda and various other documents on the screen during the meeting, and you can read them. And the second question is Buckeye the administrator of this meeting, or, because I see Jefferson Township, but where's Buckeye coming into this meeting?
They are holding our hands for the first meeting.
Okay.
And helping Adrian. This is Adrian's first meeting, running that, basically handling who can speak and so forth. So we've got somebody with more experience with Zoom sitting with her to try and smooth things out.
Okay.
So that's not an ongoing thing. That's because this is the first time we're doing it thing.
Okay, I understand that part, but it is one of those things that it is a learning curve, and even if you post the agenda and various documents during the meeting, it's under the control of the administrator, and that's not always the best thing either. Because there's times I have trouble keeping up with as they scroll through the document.
There's an option to do a screen share, and we could utilize that for our agenda and have it just sit a part of the screen share and put it up there for them to have. And you could put up both agenda or whatever you need at that point. But again, the host has to allow somebody to do that or do that for us.
Well, you can't read the entire 8.5 by 11 document on the screen, or at least not on my iPad.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. It would be pretty small.
And it is the administrator that scrolls through the document, so you read at their pace.
Okay.
But I think the best thing would be to post them so we can print them off before the meeting, and then you can follow it if you so desire.
While we're here, host and Buckeye, grab a file, like maybe a copy of our agenda, and add it to the chat and see if anybody can grab that file and look at it on their own. See if you can add that to the chat. Let's try that real quick while we're all here.
We were sitting at the kitchen table in a Zoom meeting, Township, and the cameras off. And the camera feed is
Mute.
it's not sure.
Host, are you trying to pull that up?
Yes, we're working on it.
Okay. One of the challenges with working out the bugs with our meeting is we have to call the meeting just like our regular meetings in order to do this. So this is something, let's see what we get out of the chat. That may help with some of the documentations, because if we can post something on a separate screen, that'll help, I think.
files that Adrian has, because they're not connected to OneDrive or SharePoint, there's, like, unless you had Dropbox or Google Drive or the options that are shown below in the chat, that's the only way to attach a file. You can't do drag and drop. So if you connect it to Dropbox or Google Drive or something of the sort and put your meeting agendas there, then you would be able to attach a file from one of those sources.
Okay, can you make a note of that? Or maybe that's something that we can work on for the next meeting, or maybe you and Adrian can kind of practice. See if we can perfect that and see if that will come up to anything.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, back to the meeting. We're down to trustee reports. Mr. McLaughlin, you're up.
Good, I go first. When I was president, I went first. Okay, so let's see. I'm just kind of worried looking at how much money we're spending. You know, you've heard this. I know you've heard this record before, but is there any? Do you ever ask yourself, is there a cheaper way to do this? Do I have to have this today? Is there a cheaper way to do this? Okay, let's ask this type of question when we spend money. Another comment is meeting minutes. Doing and transcribing the minutes word for word is costing us a lot of money. Nobody else does it. So in the best interest of the township, we were told in a meeting late in December that Clay Township went on for 2 or 3 minutes about this, in that first off, every other meeting's that way, and then we decide the first meeting of the year which meetings we're going to do long and which ones we're going to do short. Long is word for word. So I actually went January 4th, to Clay Township's meeting in the best interest of Jefferson Township to find that out. And was told by the physical officer who does their minutes that she's been there over 20 years and has never, ever done a meeting word for word. They had, like our zoning people, they had a meeting where they had a transcriber because they had some legal issues. But I don't know why our administrator would carry on and on about how they do half the meetings word for word when actually they've never done one at all word for word. So that just kind of bothered me that our leadership would make that kind of comment. That's all I got.
Mr. Mann.
Okay, we've had, the COVID's been here, and it has changed a lot of things. People are catching it all over. So I want to say that going out, and we still have to go out, you still have to go up to sign checks, you got to go up to get your package, bring it with you to the meeting. So we're still dealing, the Zoom didn't take care of everything, took care of some of the problems, but there again, that's, we've got to go through that. So there's some meetings that I'm gonna be using this to attend those on Zoom, that some of the committees that I'm on. So I'll get better at this as we go along. But there again, it's something to be looking forward to for this new year. So I hope everybody kind of watch it and just be careful. That's all I have.
Thank you. For my report, I think trustees, we need to change our ways. We need to get rid of this situation where the whole purpose of the meeting is personal attacks, and it's either attacking employees, attacking departments, attacking staff. I'm deeply troubled by the fact that everything we do is turning into an argument that needs to be settled by the lawyers. And pretty much, there's too much dissension on the work that the administrator is doing for us, no matter what that person proposes. We have elected officials that, even if it was to give somebody $1 million, they would disagree. We spent a whole last year having very embarrassing meetings. And I think we should consider ourselves thankful that we're not pulling a crowd. I think if we were pulling a crowd, they would be speaking up to us and saying, enough's enough. Things are getting so litigious that it's almost to the point that I think we should stop our work and let's go to court and let's settle this. The classic example is McLaughlin versus Jefferson Township. Mr. McLaughlin, you made a comment to me about accepting kickbacks. Well, you have your lawyer send a request to prove that. My rebuttal to that is, you're up for election. And I think if we don't change our ways and get back to serving the people of this township and quit all the internal nitpicking and wars, we're going to have a whole new board up here. You should go back and pull the audio that Carl Moyler had at one of our meetings where he essentially is saying that we got to work together. We spent a whole year breaking the cardinal rule of this business of fighting up front. If you look at the attendance at tonight's meeting, about 10, 12 people. It's really the same numbers we were having at the regular meeting. I think that's a sign that people are turned off by what's going on at these board meetings. They're sick of the stress, they're sick of the turmoil, and they're sick of the arguments. So we need to make some serious changes now. We also need to go into the meeting the next 30 days and pass a budget and have some agreement on it. And come into that meeting with the attitude of getting things done instead of tabling it. Too many of our basic decisions are taking 3-4 meetings. We started working on the budget back October, and here we are, we're still debating the issue. That's not good for taxpayers. You also need to get back to looking at the fact the voters got behind us on levies and they expect results. We promised them a tanker. We promised them fire equipment, and we promised them medics 24/7. That needs to happen, and mutual aid should not be taking care of that. So, things need to change, gentlemen. That's all I have.
Trustee McGuire, can I say one more thing to approve this meeting? This is my opinion, and you know, y'all can take it with a grain of salt because you don't want to listen to me, but I'm going to tell you, you guys each trustee is over a committee. You guys you guys don't communicate due to the sunshine law outside of these meetings. But you're not even communicating about any of your committees or anything that you do in those committees that you're over. You have a signed list. That is what I feel that is what you should be talking about to communicate with each other. It's always accusing each other of somebody not doing something. You're responsible over this or you're responsible over that. Why aren't you guys talking about what you do over your committees when you have your chances right here on the department reports? That's what it says, department reports. I haven't heard you one time last year, or even maybe this is something you should do in the new year. Talk about the department so each trustee knows what other one's doing. That's just my opinion. Thank you for listening.
Move to adjourn.
I second the motion.
Okay, we are adjourned at 8:33 p.m. Host, please close out the meeting.